All right, it's a different day and I'm up to some different stuff here. I'm Ray with Team S.t.e.a.m and here I'm at Flash Industrial Painting today. And I've got a painting project and a mechanic project. Not surprising, and as you can probably see in the background there, I've shelved the Dragon for a few because I got to get back to work on the other stuff. I recently picked up this 2008 Ford F-250 for basically pennies on the dollar because it had a couple of fairly lightweight but undiagnosed mechanical issues, which I'm going to take care of right now. I'm going to replace the coils, all 10 coils. It's a 10-cylinder engine. It's the V10. I'm going to replace all 10 coils and all 10 spark plugs and then clear the code to start with on this truck. And then this truck is a 91 Ford F-250, and it's been my water getter for 6 or more years now. I've had a water tank in the back. Now my black and white one is going to, my black and white F-250, my 2001, is going to take over the duties of the water tank. And the one that you see here behind me, the newly acquired one, is going to take the place and do all the duties that the former 2001 did. And I'm going to clean this guy up, make it nice and straight, make it nice and shiny, and then go ahead and sell it to somebody who hopefully will do something other than just make it haul water its whole life. That's kind of the intent. Now here, you can't probably see it on camera very easily, but this is badly wrinkled. Somebody straightened it back out with a hammer. They bashed it in. That's probably where this came from. The bumper pointed up a little bit. You see this? Bashed clear in. Makes me wonder if the tailgate's even the original. I don't have it in here at the moment, but see that? See how smashed in that is? Now look, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's how square it's supposed to look like. You see years and years of me having horse trailers on that I've sandblasted and stuff. It doesn't take much to remove this paint if it's not factory paint, and this wasn't factory paint. I'm not sure what happened in the truck, in the lifetime of this truck, but when it's not factory paint and somebody did a cheap job with spray cans, you can always tell because a couple of things. How easy it comes off with sandblast, and then look, the remnants of runs. Quick, and you can see them down here too. They're not as quick to sand off with sandblast media, and they're always there when people spray paint because people are always heavy-handed with the spray paint. But anyway, you see how straight this is, and then you can see how not straight that is. That's bent clear back. So I'm gonna start by straightening all this out, get all this straight again, get this straight again, get it respectable. I need to locate another one of these bolts, possibly out of one of the boxes I have on the property that I'm no longer using, and replace it right here. I also need to go to another spot on the property and grab my the tailgate for this and get it in here so we can get started on it as well. But straightening metal is where we're going to start today. Okay, this is what's called a porta-power kit. And this is a hydraulic pump that you pump by hand. And this is one of the receivers that pumps out a cylinder out the end. And this is the other receiver. This is kind of like the opposite of a Jaws of Life, or maybe even one of the Jaws of Life attachments. It opens instead of closes. And that's what I'll be using today. I'll be using this guy in that slot where I've already placed 2 boards. And the reason I've done that is because I don't want the width of this to begin denting this or that thing I'm pushing against. I need them both to stay intact, so I want to push this all at once as much as I can and keep from putting a big dent in that as I'm doing it. So I've got 2 small boards in there to prevent that from happening as I begin to jack on this and stretch it back out into shape. So now I've got a little step ladder set up over here so I can be close by, and I've got that hydraulic pump hooked up to this connection. What I've done here is I've put a piece of green tape across here. So when you see this line, see how it indents a little bit? You see this line come nice and straight to where it's, well, just a hair under a ½ inch all the way across. Then we know it's perfectly straight, and I won't be able to push it out perfectly straight right now. I'll be able to get it close, and this is going to take some manipulation. First thing I actually am interested in doing once I get this out and close is I need to take this lip that's been folded over and kinked flat, and I need to straighten it out completely. It is not going to stay that way, but I need to straighten this out, straighten that out, and then roll it over the way it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be rolled over like the top is right here. Rolled over like that, not like that. And this side, as you can see, is rolled over like that. It's rolled over nice and It's a nice little angle all the way down. And I won't get this one 100%, but I'll be able to get it close, but not until I actually straighten that lip out and then re-bend it. There, we've brought it out most of the way. You see this big deficit right here, largely is because of all the wrinkles and all the space taken here, but we still need to come out just a little bit here, not too far. We're most of the way there with the big bending, and then I gotta start getting in there and tweaking on this guy. What we have here now is a fair average. We've got that 1/4 to 1/2 inch at 3/8 at the top. It's pretty consistent. At the bottom, it's pretty consistent. We've got this little bit in the middle here that isn't so much sunk this way as it is caught up in all the bent metal. So what I want to do is I want to straighten this flange out now and start straightening this out and pulling it out the rest of the way, and then refolding that edge, and then we'll see what we got. All right, so now I'm picking up all these tools and moving on to the next phase, because as you can see, that's pretty darn straight. About as straight as I can get it. Now what I intend to do next is to straighten out this panel, and I don't know how well it shows up on film. It barely shows up in person. When you run your hand across it, it is like a sack of baseballs. This got bashed way in, and then somebody beat it back out with a hammer. I see that all the time. You see a kink in it right here. And this is a mess. When you look at it from above, it's really curved because this brace in here is shoving it out, and I need to shove that brace back. But first, I need to pull this out. This is shoved way in, and that is because this brace is all bent up. These don't take too much of a bend before they change the dimensions of the truck, and both of them are bent pretty darn good. Doesn't show up on film, it doesn't look bad, but this one's twisted and bent, and that brings this in, and that just doesn't even look bad. But I don't like leaving stuff like this, and the other side needs one of the braces entirely, so I'm going to take these two out and rebuild them, and then make another one for the other side, at least one for the other side, and replace them entirely, so I have something to really brace against when I do the body work that's here. See, here's the other side. It doesn't have one at all. It's supposed to bolt on right there, and then over there. So I've pulled off the two affected braces, and as you can see, pretty bent up. Those bends shorten the brace, and when that happens, it pulls the fender skirt in, changes the dimensions of the truck. This one's more bent. And Ford built them in a way like that with the V shape to where they would bend and break away and mangle rather than ruin the box. So I'm not against the design, but I can't put it back in there like that. So what I've got on hand, and that's a lot of times what I'll go with, is a full stick of rebar. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out 3 braces, since there's one missing over there. One is in good shape over there, so I left it alone. And I took the 2 off over here. So I'm going to cut 3 new braces and weld washers to the ends of them, and install them before I go any further. They've got to be installed so I have a good backer on this, so I can really get in on this and pound on it and do the body work and do everything I got to do without this giving way. So first step is to build these braces and install them. So now I've built 3 of these out of rebar with washers welded to the end. 2 of them are different lengths than the other. Now I'm going to go ahead and install them so I can begin the metal work on the other side. Now I've got my braces installed in all the spots. It's all good and solid. I beat on the metal and got it about right where I want it. And now before I start tearing into that and exposing too much of the actual bare metal, because I'm going to strip a lot of this paint off here, I'm going to go ahead and take all this stuff out of the box, pull this truck straight forward, because if that door is open, what's on the other side of it is a sea of black sand. That's where I do all my sandblasting. You've seen it before. I'll pull this outside, but first I'm going to crawl around under it, and I'm going to get all the bolts loose, the other end of those bolts. And that way when I take it outside, I can hopefully, because I'm by myself today, finagle this bed up off here enough that I can sandblast what I need to. And also I need to pressure wash where the power steering pump, and this is common on Fords, the power steering pump has been leaking for years, and not even enough of a drip that you could detect it. Like, for instance, this truck's been in the shop for 2 days and there's not a single drop of anything on the floor. But once in a while you can smell antifreeze outside of it, and it does leak or seep power steering fluid. And now that has just gathered dirt over the years, and rinse and repeat until it's just good and muddy. So I need to get all that pressure washed off first. Go ahead and pressure wash the inside of the engine compartment. It's not bad, but it needs to be done. And I'd rather do it now than after I paint the truck. So really I have all these chores I gotta do outside, and it's decent this afternoon. So I'm gonna unload this stuff, and I'm gonna pull this truck out, and I'm going to start on that list of things. So I've got this bed sandblasted. You never want to take normal sandblast media like coal slag or copper slag or some of these types and sandblast the outer panels of a domestic vehicle. You'll warp them every time. You have to use recommended things. You look up that information. It'll be like acorn shells or walnut shells or some crap like that. It'll be some other sort of media. But here's what I did: sandblast the inside of the bed because it doesn't hurt anything. It's thicker steel, and even if it did warp it a little, which I don't think it did, it's not going to hurt anything. The paint job that was in here was so terrible that it all had to come out. So I've sandblasted that, the tops of the frame rails, and the chassis all the way to the front, the back of the rear differential, the front and back of the front differential. And now I'm going to work on getting the grill off and the box off and the headlights off. None of those things are going to go back on. Once I get this truck painted, those are all going to be replaced with brand new units, because this is a nice old straight truck, or it will be, and I want all the parts on it to be fresh as well. So I'm going to take all those parts off and box them so the new owner can have them if they want them, and get this box off here today.